First, I would like to congratulate the wheat award winners. Great achievement. And I also like to thank Dr. Eugene for his achievement. Well, I'll talk on gender equality and women empowerment. Gender inequality and discrimination has been with mankind for centuries and centuries, and today still they are existing, even in developed countries. I'll talk about gender in relation to agriculture in developing countries. Agriculture is a pillar of economy for most developing countries. It's especially basic for sub-Saharan Africa growth and for achieving the Millennium Development Goals in 2015. Set to reduce poverty by half, where agriculture employs 65% of Africa's labor force and accounts for 32% of gross domestic product. It has been improving since 2001, but growth is not yet fast enough according to World Bank assessment. There is need for structure adjustment by governments. 5 core areas that need attention have been identified: facilitating agriculture markets and trade, improving agriculture productivity, investing in public infrastructures for agriculture growth, reducing rural vulnerability and insecurity, and improving agriculture policy and institutions. The World Bank, along with many partners, is helping developing nations to achieve progress through implementation of the above 5 core areas of public action. Women work hard in family or community, but until recently, women do not own property. I'm just taking example of my country, Ethiopia. Land belongs to a husband in marriage or in divorce. Women may inherit land if husbands die and if they have children. Recent land reforms laws changes these inequalities. Gender equality exists at the family, community, and national levels in the majority of developing countries. From childhood to adulthood, females are always at a disadvantage at all levels. They are unequal at home and workplaces, unequally empowered in resources. At home, parents are to blame for the inequalities, while lack of non-discriminatory policy may be responsible in workplaces, and in our case, even at farmer cooperatives. Well, the first slide shows women and men who came for training in one of the districts for seed multiplication of wheat varieties. This is unthinkable in the past. In my early career, I always see men at such public events. On the right, we see a woman who owns land and trying to produce rust-resistant variety for seed dissemination in her community. Well, going back to 1974, the Derg regime had a slogan which said development cannot be realized without the participation of women, and established women associations widely. However, women associations of that period did not do much to further women's aspirations. The current government, which started in 1991, prohibited any discrimination or subjugation against women and established by law their equal rights with men. Awareness was created widely because of change in policy. Ministry of Women and Child Affairs was put in place. Men became supportive of women, though less on religion and tradition grounds. Well, this is just typical small farmer household trying to work. They own a pair of oxen, maybe a donkey and a cow. And if such farmers get small help from us, like if they know about the new technologies, about use of fertilizer, they can make a big difference in a short period of time. Well, during this period, during the current government, involvement of women in agricultural development has increased. Role model female farmers and national award winners surfaced. This national award is held every year, and the winners are called development pathways, both men and women. Essentially, this becomes millionaire in a few years' time. Currently, the women proportion does not exceed 5 to 10%. And more are encouraged to join the rank. Here we see women participating in selecting new wheat varieties. These are durable resistant varieties which we received from CIMIT, promoted in short period of time. And we regularly do monitoring and evaluation and create awareness, teach that farmers can change for again here we see women who are little shy during field day, who are not mixing in some parts of the country, but we use these events to create awareness. Sarah may remember she was at this field day in Nawari area, and also we see a lady who is threshing and cleaning her produce, and this was unthinkable in the past decades. So we see some changes. This lady also came for a field day. She proudly shows her bank account book. And she has a child on her back during this field day. And she told us that she has been making progress. Efforts to eliminate discrimination and inequality at different levels, at international level, the UN has set an agenda. The 8-point Millennium Development Goals aim to reduce poverty and promote gender equality globally. This noble agenda encourages nations, international organizations, NGOs, and donors to consolidate their effort to achieve these goals. Proper implementation of the goals mostly benefit women and children at family, community, and national levels. At regional level, on 8 March 2009, the African for Women's Rights campaign was launched at the initiative of the International Federation for Human Rights in collaboration with 5 non-governmental organizations. These regional organizations include the African Center for Democracy and Human Rights Studies, famous Africa Solidarity, Women's Aid Collective, Women in Law and Development in Africa, and Women and Law in Southern Africa. These organizations make up the steering committee. At the national level in Ethiopia, among rights entrenched in our constitution, articles very specific to women include 34.1 and 35.2 recognize women's equal marital status, rights upon and during marriage and upon divorce. 34.4 allows for the enactment of a law recognizing religious and customary marriages, but discrimination against women with such marriage is prohibited. 35, women shall, in the enjoyment of rights and protection provided by the Constitution, have equal right with men. Article 35(3) allows for affirmative measures enabling women to participate and compete equally with men in political, economic, and social fields. Article 35(4) provides laws, customs, practices, and stereotype ideas which oppress women and adversely affect their physical and mental beings. Well, is gender balance changing in favor of women under our condition? As a researcher and development promoter, I meet and talk with small farmers often. I always ask women and men, singly or together, in meetings, trainings, or at farmers' field days, has discrimination and subjugation ceased? Is the right of girl to go to school respected? Are underage marriage still practiced? Any beatings by husband? Property ownership? The answers are candid and straightforward by both. Malpractice have been ceased, or in some places very much reduced. Development partners, they are considered development partners rather than master and slave. Rights of kids respected, and school is now a must. Underage marriage highly reduced, though some abductions exist. Beating by husband almost nil. Property is co-owned. Individually, as a group or institution or nation, we can contribute towards gender equality by offering education to children, promote social integration, increase women employment, involve women in politics and social activities, and arrange for social programs. Well, sometimes we get gifts from farmers, traditional healthy food from women, traditional alcoholic drink from men, both with blessings. The women bless us for long life, for healthy life. The farmers or the men also do the same, but I don't think that will really because such drinks will drive people over the cliff. And very strong. And I'm just comparing how women and men think. And I appreciate the way women, for the family, for their children, for their country. I'm not blaming men, but they contribute a lot. Also, by generating awareness among parents, provide scholarship to girls and young women to further their education, increase public awareness and condemn child abuse and violence. And also, during the harvest season, during the crop season, we meet women, men, and in this particular case, we discuss about several things, about gender issues, about women's rights, nutrition, schooling. And this will really enhance their awareness and also tell them that using such crops, this is a monocropped, serially monocropped area. So we encourage them to grow fava bean, which is good for their children as a nutrition and also for the soil. We also talk about, we often get visitors, and while they visit their village, they ask us, these people come to visit them, to understand the problems, and also to offer help. In this case, we see Ronnie, Darcy, and Linda, who were in Makida's village. Makida was a lady who was at the Beijing BGRI workshop. And I cannot, anyway, she is just in the middle with a black sash, shorter one, with BGR pin on her forehead. And we have women rights focused organizations like the Ethiopian Women Lawyers Association. Women, even if they are abused, this association takes cases free of charge to court, and that is why some improvements are coming. The East African Sub-Regional Support Initiative for the Advantage of Women in Burundi, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Rwanda, Somalia, Tanzania, and Uganda is also doing tremendous job. Other national organizations also do exist. We're coming to wheat. Wheat program is accomplishing a great job. Opportunities for educated women in Triticum to advance their knowledge and career. Awareness creation. For example, in my country, EIAR has learned a lot from Women in Triticum program. The gender lady, Ms. Yeshi Chiche, did not miss any BGR workshop, and she has been serious about women's rights. And she did a good job. Now she moved to another job in Uganda. Her replacement, Dr. Rahima, is in this meeting, and I hope she will gain a lot as a newcomer. Also, Ethiopian Institute of Culture Research Deputy Director General, Dr. Adunya, is here. I'm sure he will help advance the wheat initiative in EIAR and also in Ethiopia. My association with BGRN and WIT has promoted my perception of women, especially of smallholder farmers, has encouraged me to promote their awareness on a regular basis. It is Dr. Borlaug's legacy that created the WIT opportunities. Let his soul rest in peace. I thank Jeannie and Ronnie for their commitment and upkeeping the legacy. We all know that Sarah is instrumental in Women in Triticum program. And we should not forget that EPAC and the foundation are behind the BGRN and the Borlaug legacy. And I thank you all.